We're live.
We are live, ladies and gentlemen. We are live. My special guest today is Dave Fanale. Guys, I'm excited to have Dave on because Dave's a legend, mostly in his own mind.
True.
Dave's been married more times than I've actually owned pairs of sneakers. I'm getting ready to roast you. I'm going to roast you, Dave.
Holy shit.
Dave's a good guy. We've been following each other, I think, for about 2 years or so now.
Yeah.
I have a lot of respect for Dave. Dave understands the real estate industry. Dave understands and validates what I do with my company, with Real Estate Recovery Group. I validate what he does as far as, his coaching ability and what he offers individuals. I would say not only here in New Jersey, but you help people around the country too, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I'm just going to say a little bit about Dave. His information is actually on the post itself, but professionally and personally, I love this guy because he's 1,000,000% real. In this industry, it's so hard to find people that are super genuine and understand. And when you're wrong, to admit when you're wrong, or not to understand something and to raise their hand and say, hey, I have a question, I don't know. To me, that's a mark of a leader. Dave was a broker for brick and mortar for about 20 some odd years, left that industry. You sold your brokerage, and then he moved on to the next phase of his life. He's a real estate coach, and he's helping other individuals that are in real estate and or want to be in real estate and really want to understand the nuances of being a real estate professional. With, let's face it, the majority of people that get into this industry, there is not really, the barrier of entry is so low, and the negotiating skills are really disgusting. And the amount of information that they may or may not retain from actual exam clearly would reflect on some of the agents that are out there on a national level. And I know people always say, hey, Matt, you're always bashing real estate agents. I'm not bashing real estate agents. I'm pointing out the fact that there are professionals in this industry, but there are also professionals that I really can't say they're professionals because they're not professionals. So, Dave, without further ado, I appreciate you coming on. Dave Fanale, everybody. Dave, what's going on?
What's going on, man? I tell you what, I mean, I'm having a lot of fun. I'm having a lot of fun because I've taken the past few months and decided that I had an opportunity to not only expand my business, but to expand my mindset, to expand my brain, to expand my brain power, to expand some projects that I've been working on and thought about, and actually took the time to commit to development of personal and professional. So, I mean, it's been a lot of fun. There's a lot of, I added a bunch of clients over the past few months. So I'm enjoying helping people. And today, especially as I said to you before, I wasn't feeling well. I got up, I had 3 coaching calls I had to do, and I had to be there. And I can't be there half-assed. I got to be there all of me, and I got to give it all. The good thing is that I don't think about how I physically feel when I'm doing something because I just keep going, and it worked. So what's going on is my objective. I just want to help people, man, and that's what I'm doing.
I understand that. So I have a couple of questions like I do with every guest. So let's just, without further ado, let's get into it.
Cool.
So, obviously there's a lot of new real estate agents that are stagnant right now. They might have got the real estate school. They're waiting to take their final exam. I don't even know. Are the real estate schools even open right now?
Yeah, they are. They've gone online, and that was not allowed until the pandemic in New Jersey.
Mm-hmm.
The state of New Jersey. Most states have it online, and they're all open, and they all have classes.
Okay. So let's talk about new agents, people that are in the business. Maybe they've just gotten started. Maybe, and to me, a new agent is somebody who's been in real estate for at least 1 year. So somebody who's getting started in real estate. What advice would you give somebody that is wowed by these people as, oh my God, I get to keep 100% real estate commission versus some of these agents or agencies that are taking, let's say 50%. But you know what? If the education is there and you really want to learn, exactly, and you want to learn your craft, why would you not be willing to offer a part of your commission to learn? I feel like everybody has urgency to move towards these 100% real estate commissions. And let's face it, I don't know if you know this or not, but 100% of zero is zero.
Right.
What's your thought, Dave?
My thought is exactly what you just said. I've had agents come and go because of money. If you go to a company for money, you're going to leave for money. Let's talk about that really quickly. Like you said it there. If the value is there in a 50 for 50 shop and a brick and mortar shop, there's got to be a lot of value because of what's going on today, right? There's got to be an awful lot of value there. And when we talk about brick and mortar, I'm going to tell you that I firmly believe that a lot of them are doing it wrong. They have not shifted, and they're still stuck in the 1990s or the early 2000s with their commission splits, with their value packages, right? If you're going to build leads and give out leads, you need to do it a certain way. You need to do it. The biggest problem, I believe, with our industry, and always has been, is that we're called something, right? We can't be called employees. We're called independent contractors. That word independent, makes people, push out their chest and walk around with their shoulders out and everything. You know what? You need to take a chill pill and take a step back and look at, you can't do anything unless you know how to do it. The way a new agent starts out is they don't know what they don't know. Then they know what they don't know. Then they know what they know. And then they don't know what they know. Those are the 4 stages of learning. So the most important thing a new agent needs to do is to understand that they're going to start somewhere. The most important thing they need to look at in that somewhere they're going to start is not money, but the value package of the training and then coaching. Let's take the differentiation between training and coaching. Training is to teach skills. Coaching is to enhance those skills. Anybody that plays on an NFL team and is coached really well does really well. You can see an NFL team that sucks. They change the coach, and the next year they're really good. Why? Because the coach is really good. He took their skills and enhanced their skills. What a new agent needs to do is they need to look at the basics. They need to look at people that specialize in companies that specialize in new agents. There used to be brick and mortar companies out there that specialized in new agents. Century 21 is one of them, which was my franchise at that time, right? And they did really well. One of the things that I specialize in is new agents. And something that most brokers don't want, part-time agents. I have a special program just for part-time agents, which brings them along and talks about how they do their time and how they set their time up. New agents simply need to have a process by which they're going to start. And unfortunately, Matt, that process is a lot of everything. It's like a fire hose coming at them. And it's up for that manager, that broker, that mentor to help them along. And go ahead.
I want to say one thing to all that. So there's 2 things. One, if you're a real estate agent, you have to treat it as you're an entrepreneur. And I say it all the time. You're not a 9 to 5. You have to lose that 9 to 5 mentality. 2, it's okay to be a part-time real estate agent, but don't act like a part-time agent. Don't tell the person that you may or may not be working with that you're a part-time agent. They're not going to take you serious. Now, you may disagree with saying to somebody, hey, I'm a part-time real estate agent. You may not. I don't know. But I will tell you this. I'm tired of people having a mentality of, hey, this is a 9 to 5 job. And senior real estate agents that say after 6 o'clock at night, I don't answer my phone. I don't answer my text messages. I wait until 9, 10 o'clock the next morning. You know what? If you have people on your team and you're teaching those people that invaluable lesson, you're training a whole new breed of lazy real estate agents. Go ahead, Dave. Sorry to interrupt.
So I want you a couple of things I want to say about what you just said, and it goes right along with where I was going, is that number one, if you're going to be part-time, don't be sometime, right? Big difference, right? The other thing is that most real estate agents, I use the words independent contractor, you come in with the employee mindset, which is, I'm going to work, I'm going to get a check. The problem is when you come in with the employee mindset, most of these new agents want the investor check, right? They want people to do stuff for them. They want to learn everything, but they want the big money that, maybe their mentor, maybe their team leader, or their group leader, or their manager is making. Look, you know what? To be an owner of a bricks and mortar company, I think is insanity. Right? One of the reasons I got out was money. There was an old funny expression that we had. Why do you think they call us brokers? Right? So basically, the important part is you need to find someone that's going to specialize in you and help you. I'm a certified mentor with EXP. It's one of the things I do with coaching. I bring in coaching clients that way.
Let's talk about that for a second. So you went to EXP.
Yes.
Why'd you go to EXP?
There was a great video put out by Dan Beer, who was an EXP team leader out in California, one of the top 100 in the country, and he did a video, and this is exactly the reason what I'm saying in my answer to your question is he did a video about why he went to EXP and why Remax and all those didn't work for him. It wasn't that we do things differently through Remax or the Remax doesn't do as good a job or Century 21 doesn't do as good a job. It's the collaborative effort, the collaborative situation that we have in this group of people. I mentioned Dan Beer, San Diego, California. I can call Dan up and ask him a question tomorrow or today or in 5 minutes. I can call Jake Kinder up and ask him. I can call all these people up. I can communicate with these people. I'll be honest with you. Say I'm trying to recruit somebody. I'll call Jake Kinder. I say, Jake, you get a call with them for me and help me out. He'll do that. The collaborative effect of learning our business and building our business. I now do something in my business, which I started about a month ago. I'm not going to go in what it is, but I got from another upline person, Kyle Whistle, also in San Diego, also top 100 teams. How about that? 2 top 100 teams in San Diego. But he mentioned something, and I've been doing it, and it has been paying off like crazy. Just something I do every day, right? The point is the collaborative effect. I was not even looking for it. I ran into some great people. I ran into Brett Sikora and Dave DeVoe, had a conversation with them. I wanted to collaborate with people and work with people that really had excitement. Their excitement was second to none. And it has paid off for me in the past year like crazy.
It's funny because you're talking about some serious power players right there. I had the pleasure of meeting Jay at an event that Melissa DeSantis put on down in down in South Jersey somewhere. And I actually met Jay and met Matt, who's also a power player in New Jersey. Obviously, I know Dave DeVoe. I knew Dave DeVoe when Dave DeVoe was, just Dave DeVoe. He was just starting out in real estate. So, it's funny, you meet all these individuals along the way, and you kind of question, are they going to be a good agent? Do they get it? Do they listen? To me, the best type of agent that's out there is someone who's listening. Even when they're talking, they're listening because they're hearing. And the problem that I have with homeowners and or buyer agents, seller agents, even some attorneys, people don't listen. And that's the problem in this industry.
It's funny. I use the word listen. When I'm working with new agents and talking about, doing their appointments with buyers and sellers, I tell them, it says, your listing appointment, change the word. It's not a listing appointment. It's a listening appointment. Mm-hmm. Plain and simple. It's not a listing appointment. It's a listening appointment. And I tell you what, I have access to all these people, and they're all great coaches in and of themselves as well. Right. I work with some great people. I worked in the Tom Ferry system. I worked with Floyd Wickman years and years ago a little bit. And I coached with John Cheplack for over 10 years, coached with Grant Wise. Now I coach with a guy by the name of Jason Nyback. I have several coaches, and Nick Krem, by the way. So, I have 2 or 3 different coaches right now. And I think it's really important for people to have a coach to move forward with them.
So let me ask you a question. So obviously you're very validated, right? You've got a lot of accomplishments in the industry. You've been in real estate now for about 75 years?
Yes, give or take a day or two.
Right. So based on the 75-year career, I'm only kidding. What would you say or not say, and I'm going to put you on the spot, about Real Estate Recovery Group and what my company does as far as adding value to everybody that's in play as a loss mitigation company for distressed houses?
So in other words, your company looks at it from a standpoint of being involved in it. I mean, I know your background. You know, you were on my broadcast. I know your background, that you actually put yourself in a position to understand it personally. So you don't just do it on a personal level. On a business level, you're doing it on a personal level because you get it. You get the heartfelt pulls and the heartstrings that get messed up with everything that's going on. So you get the personal level. You also know that there are a lot of people out there that don't know what the hell they're doing, and that you're required. You're a necessary item. And, you know, let's face it, in our business, in the real estate business, not in yours, but in mine, you know, people are all worried about money, or what's it going to cost me, or what's it going to be this, or what's it going to be that, or how much are you going to take of my commission? Screw that. Think with the end in mind, but not the money end. Like I said to you when we started, I just want to help people, right? That's what I wanted to do. You know, it's a give and take. It's a give and take life. Now, when I owned my brokerage, I always said that I did the giving, they did the taking. But the point here is that you need to give in order to receive. I'm not saying the receiving should be thought about as money. My receiving is the good feeling I get when I do it. You know, I mean, I talked about being a certified mentor. Now I have about 25 mentees. I know damn well I'm never going to see a dime from a lot of these people, but I'm still putting in the time because I get paid as they produce. And you know that more than 80% of new agents fail, right? So is it a risk on my part? No, it's not, because I'm giving of myself to them, and I'm not patting myself on the back at all, but I'm doing the best I can to help as many people as I can. Look, everybody has their own charity. I've got charities. I don't talk about it. You know, I help people I don't talk about. That's not why I do it. But why I help people in real estate is because I want to see people help people. Like what you do, you're doing it you're doing it to make money. There's no question about it. I don't think that's the first reason you do it for. Honestly, I really don't. And that's why you're so valuable to the industry.
Dave, and you hit the nail right on the head. So it's not about money, and I talk about it all the time. You know, it truly is people before profit. It's about homeowners understanding what their options are. And, you know, I do work with real estate agents, and I do coaching, and I do, you know, one-on-one training. And we also do, you know, the workshops and the short sale boot camp expo and stuff like that. So it's about showing people a different way, a better way of communicating with people that are in distress. It's a totally different animal. It's a different beast. You're working with somebody that might not be thinking rationally, might be thinking like, hey, I've got my head in the sand. I've got my head in a rabbit hole. I've got 1 foot out the door already. I don't care, but I do care because I have a family. So for 15 years for doing this, and then taking what I learned 5 years ago nationwide, exploded my business for good and bad. Good, because obviously we get to help more people. Bad, because there's more eyes on my company. And yeah, I've gotten phone calls from attorneys. I've gotten phone calls from, you know, real estate commission. I've gotten phone calls, you know, from broker's office. And it all comes down to this: disclosing. And as long as we disclose everything we do and present everything and don't hide anything and mention in the remarks section and upload our disclosures and disclose, we don't have issues. And I think the number one issue that real estate agents have is that they're not disclosing what the value is that they offer to individuals that may or may not need their help. And with homeowners that are in trouble, they're looking to you for guidance. They're looking for you basically to be the Messiah, right? The person who's going to steer the ship and put them into safe waters and make sure that they come out on the other side. And there's a lot of people that walk around, not with a Yankee symbol, but with a dollar sign in their forehead, and they don't care about the individual. So my question really is to you is, why should people listen to you, Dave?
Because what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to, and what I was going to say about what you just said is the value is in the question you ask, right? Your value is in the questions you ask. Be the one with the questions, not the one with the answers. Your best customer, your best student is the person that asks you a question you can't answer. What does that mean? that means you've done such a great job at asking them questions to pull everything out of them, to pull out what they already know out of them, that they're asking you a question that, is like, like a question I can't answer if it was from a seller, it would be, how fast can I move into this house? Or I mean, a buyer, excuse me. How fast can I move into this? There's a bug flying around. Sorry about that. Yeah. How fast can I move into this house, right? That's a question I can't generally answer immediately, right? So the value to why people should listen to me is look, I started as a grunt on a construction project and learned I know how to build anything, any house, any building. Not skyscrapers or big steel buildings, but I can build anything and everything. It's actually my first love. And eventually I want to get back into just doing building because it's just so much fun. And it was the people I met along the way that make it fun. My contractors I work with still are my best friends, right? We go to each other's houses all the time. And I haven't built a house in 5 years probably, right? So my point is really simple, is that the value that I bring is from experience. The value that I bring is innovation, but I also believe in being different. I also believe that I want to push an agent to do stuff that's out of their comfort zone. And when you do stuff out of your comfort zone, you're most likely to get a result quicker than if you're doing what everybody else is doing. Like if people want to go around and post their listings on Facebook, good for you, enjoy it. If you want to go around and post a sale that says, look what I just did, go ahead and do it. But if you want to post a sale that says Sam and Jane came to me, they had worked with another realtor and they had some difficulties and they found a house that fell through. They had a special situation where they needed to be in a certain area, and every house they went to, they seemed to be missing. When we got together, I was able to take them to listings before they even knew they went on the market, and we were able to get a house and not have to worry about going into bidding war. I just made that up off the top of my head, but this is a story. This is something that most agents won't do. The real successful agents, that's what you're going to see on social from them. If they want to go around and say, oh, and I see these taglines all the time. I'm never too busy for your referrals. Really? That means, okay, I'm really busy. I really don't care about your referral. I'll take it, but I'm just, I don't want it. That's what that says. Why should people listen to me? It's really simple. I want to get you out of your comfort zone, and I want to have you excel. I don't want to see you. I can't guarantee anything. My results are not typical. The results that I show are not typical. But what I try to do is get the best out of somebody that they can, and I challenge people, plain and simple. I challenge them. If you don't like what you're doing, you might not like me. I'm not for everybody, Matt.
I can't imagine that. All right, so here's my next question. All right. Is there a simple method or process that agents can always rely on to help them in their businesses?
Is there a simple method or process our agents can always rely on to help them in their businesses? Yeah, I mean, one of the simple process that I talk about with every agent I work with that are new or experienced is blocking time, is working with their time and understanding that time cannot be replaced, right? We can replace a shirt can be replaced, but time cannot be. Once it goes by, it's gone, right? So you have to understand that, number one, time management is not possible. That's a lot of crap. But using a time system to be able to not manage it, but to utilize it properly, to utilize it efficiently is what you need to do. And that's a simple time block system. So the simple method is actually, and I have simple systems. If you look at them, I mean, they'll blow your mind. But if you really look at them from a 1,000-foot view, what that week looks like, hey, you know what? That makes a lot of sense. There's time to do everything and to get it done. If I had one thing that I would say to people, when you have a time block system, don't allow disruptions, right? Nobody ever died from a real estate transaction. If you're doing your prospecting from 8 to 11 in the morning and the attorney calls, unless it's something that's really necessary, don't take that call. You call them back at 11. You call them back at 12. You need to do that. But what I do in my systems is I add one little thing. It's a flex block. If you do get interrupted and you lose a half hour in your processing, you've got it built in your process in your day to go back and make up that time. It's like a makeup block, right? So the most important thing is for people to get their jobs done and to understand what they have to do, and to understand that there are money-making activities, which are called income, and there are non-money-making activities, which are called expenses. You need to separate your life in income and expenses, period.
Interesting. It's good stuff. Let's talk about this. You mentioned differentiation.
Differentiation. Yeah.
So when you talk about different, you get a mental block.
Differentiation.
Blah, 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 blah. What are you trying to say when you say that?
Don't be like everybody else. Be different. I mean, my buddy and coach John Cheplak said, "Be different, not better." And then I said to him, "Well, different is better." He goes, "You're right. Different is better." You know, a lot of people are worried about doing something better than somebody else and copying what others do. I see even my mentees doing it, you know, posting on Facebook what other people are doing, what other people are saying. You know, like, here's a new listing I'm doing an open house for this weekend. If you know anybody looking to buy or sell, please call me. But that's what everybody does. I talked about the story a few minutes ago. You know, do live videos walking down the street of your town, of your market, where your niche is. Do live videos. I mean, if you see what I do, I mean, the mornings I run, I'm doing live videos at 6 a.m. in the morning, and they're doing very well. They get a lot of viewership, and I actually talked to some people during the day that saw it. Be different. Do videos consistently. The thing about being different is once you start doing it, you're going to get known. There's a book out there by Mark Schaefer called Known. And it talks about getting known through social media, through what you do. And if you're going to use all methods of social media, which you should be, and the majors are Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and oh yeah, let's not forget about Twitter, LinkedIn, Snapchat, TikTok, Pinterest. Let's not forget about them, but they're not as important. Facebook number one, Instagram number 1A. And all those with your video should be going to YouTube, right? Not a lot of agents do that. There are some agents that don't need to do that because they're different in their own way. So the art of differentiation is really simple. With my coaching, Real Estate Skill Builder, what we do is we take the agent and help them with simple systems and processes to utilize them in a modern way to build their business, plain and simple. That's what it's all about. And that's how we do it. We use simple systems through modern tools to help them differentiate themselves. It works simply that way. And that's really all there is to it. Video is a big part of it. Utilizing shares and how to use different shares. Like, for instance, let's talk about virtual, right? A lot of people are trying to figure that out, right? I give credit to a lot of people that are trying to figure it out, but it's not that different. I've been teaching it for 5 years, right?
Exactly.
It's really simple. People are nervous about it. Hey, as we say in Commitment to Capping, and one group that we have with Sekou Pile, it's make a mess, make mistakes. Famous line I got from a buddy of mine, Matt Allman, out at Social Networks in California, is the imperfection is the connection, plain and simple. And that's, people are afraid to be different. They're afraid to be out there. You know, years ago, I would classify myself as shy. And then I realized, hey, you know what? I'm not shy. I'm just different. So I want to capitalize on my differentness, or differentiation, as you can look at. And that's what I do. I am different. My coaching calls, the way I coach is with the passion that you're seeing now, right? And a little bit more. So I'm not that you're not getting it all. You're getting it all. But the thing is that this is me. This is me, and that's why I'm different.
I think that the majority of the people that are either in this industry or maybe they're coming into the industry have a very narrow mindset, and they're stale emotionally. And I think that they're stale in their presentation of who they are. And I think people like that need to have people like you in their life, because you can help them reshape, remold. there's a saying they say, you can't teach an old dog new tricks. That's not necessarily true. You
Right.
can, but you have to have the willingness and the mindset to wanting to do that. And you talked about the virtual aspect. Well, I've been running my business virtually for a very long time prior to COVID, and people were asking me how's it affecting my business with interacting with my employees. And I said, well, my employees all work out of their house. They have company laptops, printers, cell phones, all provided by my company for the reason that I want to make sure that their laptops are working correctly. If a printer goes down, I'm getting a new printer overnighted to them. If there's an issue with the cell phone, I'll get them on the phone with a tech. If the cell phone has an issue, the cell phone is being swapped out, or I'll buy a phone, swap it out, and I'll get the credit later. People rely on what my company does and the service that we provide. The other thing I want to talk about is the video aspect. You mentioned about doing videos.
Right.
Do you know how many people reach out to me? Matt, love watching, love the content. It's awesome. On my Short Sale 101 group, we dive a little bit differently. I do more personal videos that pertain to, the real estate. I started doing that, and a really great response to that. And I said, hey, you've been in real estate, let's say 5, 10, 15, 25 years. Love to have you on as a guest. I can't do it. Why? I'm shy. And then we get into how they're not successful, or how I'm like, yeah, you drive a beautiful car. Well, my wife makes a lot of money, or my husband is quote unquote the breadwinner. This is more of a hobby for me, So like I really start to get like the mindset of what people are really thinking. And a lot of the stuff that people are posting on social media is 150% bullshit. And that's why I call Facebook fake book.
I do too.
Get out of here.
No, I said, Facebook equals Facebook. It's about time we make it real book.
Exactly.
I swear to God, man.
And because of that, and the issues that are pronounced in my side of the industry, look, in regular real estate, when you're not up against a gun and you have a sale date pending, or a final judgment's going to be coming down, or maybe the person has to go to litigation, or maybe the bank is making them do a waterfall review of their property. There's a lot of different aspects of this industry that people don't talk about. Right. And it isn't showing off. This is just saying, look, the rules, regulations, and guidelines, that is what's going to get you to the finish line, to the closing table. So my side of the industry is a little different. And I know that before we went live, we both said we might disagree, but I got to tell you, we haven't really disagreed too much on what we want and what we're trying to convey to the listeners that are watching and hearing this.
Right. I mean, people just need to get out of their own way. And that's the hardest thing in the world for people to do.
100%. So here's my next question. And you may or may not be able to answer this, because people ask me all the time, Matt, what's going to happen in 2-3 years? Well, I don't work for Dionne Warwick Psychic Network, so I don't know exactly what's going to happen. But I'm going to ask you this question: how do you see the market today? Where do you see it in a year?
So today is really interesting. Today has been going on for about a couple of weeks, right? So it's like this way. We're at a flat point where the absorption rate's below 2 locally in our area. I think just to hit on outside we're in suburban New Jersey, right? We're outside of Manhattan. Manhattan, Seattle, some of these big cities are being hit really hard. Right. And it's going to take a while for them to come back. I thought it'd be quicker than other people are saying. But the way I look at it is this: Manhattan already has lost, I believe, 20% in their rates as far as rental rates and stuff. I know people are renting an apartment for 20 to 30% less than it was going for 6 months ago. Here we're flat. We're at the absorption rate. More listings are coming on. We've got more of a seller's market right now, which we're going to see for a little bit of a while, and we're going to see increases in business. We're already 33% above year over year last July. We're already 33% above, right, from what I hear. from what I read. We're going to see a little bit of a hockey stick over the next several months. But this also, Matt, understand that this is all about what happens with the country, because understand more states are being closed down again, right? California just got closed down again, right? We don't know what's going to happen with this. I believe that New Jersey still has a falling rate, which is really good. And it's great for the real estate market as well, because we're able to do more things. Let's just keep doing what we're supposed to be doing and keep it right where we're at. We're going to see over the next few months some good houses coming on the market, because this is what we've got. We've got people that have been stuck in their house for 3 months. Here's some things that are going to happen. More divorces. We've already seen, unfortunately, deaths. So divorce and probate, right? We're also going to see people that say, I've been stuck in this house for 3 months. I hate this effing house. We got to get somewhere else.
You forgot about the new babies. Could be the baby boom.
You don't let me finish. The baby boom is going to start, right? No, I'm just kidding. The baby boom is going to start. That's going to be another 6 months. That's going to start the COVID baby boom, right? And then you're going to have those that say, you know what? I got to get the hell out of Manhattan. I got to get the hell out of New Jersey. I got to get the hell out, whatever. They might be moving from New Jersey to South Jersey, right? They might be moving from New Jersey to South Carolina. One of the things we've seen over the last 3 months, let's look at Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. My good friend Greg Harrelson down there has seen a difference in move backs, right? So they say the people that move to Florida and then they move to South Carolina, they call them halfbacks, right? Get it? Coming halfway back. Yeah. A lot of the people in South Carolina that were not able to see their families up north, like New Jersey, New York, New England, are moving back because they got stuck not being able to see them, and they don't want that to happen again. So people are moving out of retirement areas back to New Jersey. So you're seeing this really crazy cycle. So long story short, you're going to see a lot of ups and downs all over the place, right? I was talking to this week on my broadcast. I got Michael Hellickson coming on, the founder and owner of Club Wealth, a real estate coaching company out in California. I believe it's Washington. And he's going to be my guest this Friday on Real Estate Talk TGIF. And we're talking about, we don't even know how much this is going to happen, but what I see in the next 6 to 12 months is something really strange. I think we're going to have something we haven't had in about 15 to 20 years, and that's called a normal market. I believe that if we are able to stabilize this pandemic, we're going to see a lot of different things happen with a lot of people wanting to buy, a lot of people wanting to sell. It's going to even out. Let's understand what a normal market is. It takes 4 to 6 months or 5 to 6 months to sell your, no, take that back. I'm sorry. 4 to 6 months to sell your home. 90 to 20. Let me rewind here. Wow. 90 to 120 days to sell. You have 5 to 6 months of inventory on the market, and there's a 1 to 3% appreciation. This is after the dust settles once we're out of this. You're going to see that for a while. Everything's going to stabilize. One might say, well, don't you have to wait for the election? Unless something happens that we don't see, it's not going to affect what we're doing, because no one's going to want to mess with the economy once it starts getting to go again. So basically what I see, to summarize, is we're going to see a good elevation in seller activity, which means we'll have more buyer activity, because let's face it, there's a pent-up buyer's market and there's a pent-up seller's market. So I believe it's going to even out in about 6 to 12 months, and we're going to see a normal market for a while, and then we'll see what the stock market does. But that's what I see. It may sound nuts, but it's my opinion.
Can I give you my opinion?
Absolutely.
So from on the banking side and dealing with what the asset managers or the loss mitigation reps, underwriters, whoever is saying on their side, they are gearing up towards sending out an enormous amount of foreclosure notices to people that might have been caught up in the 2008 crisis, 2007, going into 2013, 2014, tremendous amount of loan modifications that had failed and failed miserably.
Right.
And were given final chances and basically blew them for different reasons.
Right.
Now, last year and a half ago or so, I started predicting 2020, 2021, there's going to be a correction in the industry. Nobody predicted what was going to happen with COVID-19. No one, except the people that were planning it. Now, because of all that and everything that's happening, it's like a massive trifecta. So I think in 16 to 24 months, we're going to see an enormous amount of people that are going to be driven into foreclosure. People that didn't understand what they were getting into with either a forbearance or any type of deferment that a bank might offer. I also think that the government did a wonderful job of trying to calm down everybody in America by offering them immediate unemployment plus their bonus pay of $600. But it's also making it so people are so complacent in not going back to work. It's almost causing an issue with employees that are saying, hey, employers are saying, employees, look, we need you back. Now I'm not ready to come back yet. I'm still worried about COVID. And they really can't say anything. That's not grounds for firing somebody. From what I understand from my friends in the human resources industry and that sector. So my concern is that people don't understand that people that were already delinquent versus the people that went delinquent that were never delinquent before, that are getting really bad advice from even legally from attorneys that are saying, hey, you could pay your mortgage, don't pay it, go into the forbearance. You know, they're going to work something out. Well, you know what? Maybe Freddie Mac and Fannie Mae, maybe they'll be able to work something out. But what about the loans that aren't backed by them? What about the loans that are completely different? And they're getting very bad advice. See, that's why I tell people rules, regulations, and guidelines are so important, because you can plan ahead. But nobody wants to plan ahead. Look, in this industry, I'm either loved or I'm hated. And I'm okay with either one, because the people that hate me are really secret followers that love me, that really want to understand and do what I can do. So, and I get phone calls from other loss mitigation people or companies that are out there and they say, Matt, what's your opinion on it? Yesterday, I had a massive phone call with an organization, a company, with my assistant, Leah, and we are being looked at as a company that might work with a massive law firm that has access to a lot of things around the United States. Why? Because we're being looked at as leaders in the industries. So I don't look at myself as a guru. I'm a leader. I'm a guy who picked something up and just ran with it. And look, I am by no means the sharpest guy in the shed, the sharpest tool in the shed. Look, that word that you said before, differential, what was the word?
Differentiation.
Differentiation. I have a very hard time reading. I have a learning disability. I look at sometimes letters differently. And people sometimes they'll call me and say, hey, do you really have a learning disability? I'm like, yeah, I do. Oh, really? Oh, I grew up, I had a learning disability too. I was able to get, oh, my kid has it. You have any points, whatever? I don't really care. So I get, hey, you misspelled, a word, idiot, or you're a dummy, or you stupid. People message me. That doesn't bother me anymore. As a child, it really got to me. But as an adult, I don't really care. And it's not about me. It's about my cause and helping people. I
really relate to what you're saying, because I do a lot of email marketing, and I make spelling mistakes all the time. But the interesting part is that I also do a lot of Facebook marketing. And I had a guy attack me on one of my ads about, being horrible at targeting. And one of the things he didn't understand, that since he has associated a lot with my target, he's part of my target by default. And he was telling me that he was a marketing expert. I didn't want to say to him, you're nothing. You don't know what you're talking about. You're part of the target because you're commenting on my people's stuff all the time on my target. I get that all the time. I mean, look, great thing about that, Matt, if you don't have haters, you're doing something wrong.
I got plenty of haters. I don't even look at them as haters. My haters are my followers because they're still on my Facebook. And then I hear from other people that will say, hey, do you know that so-and-so that said that comment? They don't even like you. I'm like, I love it. And they're like, defriend them. I'm like, no, I don't want to. Because for me, if I have room for people like that are actually going to say nice things on my Facebook page, but hate me behind my back, then you're my friend to me. That's how I look at it.
Right.
And that's okay. So, in this industry, in the market that we're in, look, I'm working on a short sale right now. My wife is the listing agent. And I've heard everything from, oh, you guys are in cahoots. Why? Because my last name is Marinoff and my wife's name is Marinoff. Well, no, she's a listing agent and you're a short sale company. Look, if my wife got all the short sale listings and nobody else had the opportunity to get a listing, then yeah, that would be in cahoots. But if you look at my long history of real estate agents that I've done transactions with, my wife is actually on very few of those transactions. So when people are like, you need to disclose that. No, I don't need to disclose shit because in my disclosures, it actually discloses who my company is. It discloses who Matt Marinoff is. It discloses what the purpose is of my company. And I'm also disclosing on whatever MLS we're marketing the distressed property on. That's my job. Right. And it's agreed. I'm like, you know what? Contact your local MLS, ask them what they say, get me on the phone. Because it wouldn't be my first rodeo from hearing from somebody that has an issue with it. The other thing is attorneys. Attorneys can be the biggest assholes in the world. And that's okay. That's their job. Do you know that we've had multiple transactions with attorneys that didn't understand what we were doing, what the purpose was, because it wasn't explained properly to them by the agent that said, I get short sales. I understand what your fee is for. Well, clearly you don't. And then ultimately end up doing business with those attorneys because they love how thorough my company is.
Right. Exactly. That's how it goes.
So at the end of the day, you have your opinion on where you think the market's going to be. And I hope the market goes in the direction that you say. I don't see it from the distress side of it, but I think from the main street, like people mainstream that are going to sell the properties mainstream, that might be the case. You're going to get an influx of distressed real estate that's going to come out. And it might not hit on directly. It might hit like this. It might hit like this. It might hit like that. Nobody knows. And if somebody says, I know exactly how the market's going to go, I'm sorry to say it, they're full of shit. Because nobody knew how COVID was going to go. Look at what COVID has done to the real estate industry. It blew up. Amazing. People were panicked. Real estate agents are very well known in the industry. Stopped showing properties. Took properties off the MLS. Went into seclusion. Turned off their lead generation machine. They say, I am going into hiding. I'm thinking to myself, are you out of your freaking mind? This is an amazing time that when somebody's in hiding, to go and just dominate and go over them. And that's why I started doing these 12 o'clock lives. I was doing them Monday through Friday, but quite honestly, we've gotten really busy. I got to shut it down and I got to help my team out. So it's Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursdays. I might have to tweak it down a little bit more. I don't know. I did away with nights because I'm, my coaching clients and with new referrals. And I have to tell you, Dave, there's a lot of people that got really bad advice on the referral, the deferment or the forbearance, and not understanding what they got into. And now they're freaked out because they're like, well, the bank said they're going to work with me. And they're like panicked, crying almost, saying, but my bank said. And I understand that, but at the end of the day, they have to be realistic. And when I say realistic, they have to understand. Think about it logically. These are people that are paid to tell you what you want to hear. They're not paid to be your friend. They're paid to give you the information that they're provided to give you to calm you down. I will tell you that based on the calls that I've gotten and the conference calls that I've been on, which are a little bit different than other people's calls, goes like, yeah, we just had to write up 16 people today at $10,000 a violation. One phone call, one bank call, getting audited by the mortgage commission and seeing that they actually made a mistake, that's $160,000 in one day in violations. They might not be paying it now. They might have to pay it in the fourth quarter, but they're going to have to pay it. So they're panicked on their end as well. And that's why I tell people, you call into a bank and you ask them questions, get their name, find out what department they're in, find out what part of the country they're in if they're in a call center. It's okay to ask their ID, get their extension, get their manager's name. Do you have a floor supervisor? All those things are so important, and nobody's doing it. And that's why people said to me, Matt, with your classes that you teach, you give people the secret sauce. Yeah, because 99% of the people aren't going to do it. Right. It's the 1% that's going to do it. But I want everybody to have a fair shot.
Right. It's you're giving out the information, you're trying to help people. And when we talk about, the market, I believe that what you're talking about, the foreclosure, is what's going to bring us to the normalcy of, and normalcy I use it's probably a weird word now, but that's one of the things that's going to bring us to that normal market, is the addition of that shadow inventory that's going to come out, right? And then back to the 99% won't do it. Look, Frank Kern, I don't know if you know who Frank Kern is. The internet marketer of the world forever, since the internet started, he basically said in the very beginning, he says, give away your good shit, give it all away, and then sell the crap. Because once people get the good stuff, which you're not going to do that you're giving away, they're going to buy the other stuff and then want to buy more and more. And then they'll realize later on, oh yeah, I already got this before, but now I'm paying a fortune for it. Mm-hmm. That's what it's all about. That's what it's all about. You can give it away as much as you want. Nobody's going to listen to it.
There's a lot of people that are out there saying, hey, can I get a free pass to your event? Or can I get a code, a coupon code? Or when you do your online training, is there any way you can unlock it for me so I can go in and take a look? The answer is no, because I've been doing this for 15 years. You know what? Did people help me along the way? People pointed me in such an odd direction to not want to be successful in this industry for two reasons. One, fear of competition, and two, worried that, I might not need them, or maybe I'll tell the rest of the world they're a phony or they're full of shit. But I'll say this much. I don't have competition. For me, I look at everybody as somebody that I can work with, an opportunity. And I think if people started having that mindset and realizing you can't be a squid, you can't be an octopus and grab with all the tentacles and try to get everything. Right. You're not going to be successful. You have to work in one type of environment. You have to focus and hone your skills on what you're doing. If you can emulate and duplicate who you are as a person and build a team, that's what you need to do. And that's what I've done, because my team allows me to do these types of lives during the day, so I can reach and bring in, newer audiences to let them know about, who we are. So I tell people all the time, if they want to learn more about short sales, go to the Short Sale 101 group. There's a private book on Facebook. This book was put together for people where they can ask simple questions. We don't have a problem. Or if they're shy, or if they're not, or hey, can we reach out to you privately? That's fine too. But the group was put together for people that may or may not understand really how short sales work, and maybe they're embarrassed to ask people. So, Dave, I truly appreciate having you on today. Is there anything you want to add? Is there anything that you want to say in closing that people should know about you?
Well, no. I mean, just basically that I work for and with people that want to work. I mean, if you have the ambition and you're missing maybe that you can never get it done, or maybe you need the accountability. Because one of the things I put in all of my forms when I start working with someone is I have the right to fire them as a student. And the reason is because I don't want to waste my time. If you're someone out there that doesn't want to waste your time, you really want to learn, you really want to enhance your skills, communicate, connect with me. whatever you want. I mean, it doesn't matter what company you're with. I don't care. I work with every company, and I will never push my company on anybody else because that's just the wrong thing to do.
Right.
But anyway, no, I mean, you have my contact information up there. If I can help anybody, that's what I want to do. I just want to help people. It's what I do. It's me.
Guys, this is Matt Marino from Real Estate Recovery Group. This video and audio will probably be split up, and most likely it's going to make it to the podcast show. I think Dave Fanale is somebody that people should look up to. Obviously, he's a great mentor. He is helping people try to obtain what most people can't, which is the financial stability and to be able to help others. If you want to reach Dave directly, Dave, that's your cell phone number, isn't it?
It sure is.
That's amazing. There's a lot of people that are coming on my show and actually giving out their cell phone numbers. You can reach Dave Fanale directly at 201-376-6945. That's 201-376-6945. That's his direct cell. So you could text, you could call him, you can say you mentioned that you saw him on my show or not. I don't benefit any way. I'm just trying to help people connect on the 12 o'clock show. Right now it's Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. If you or you know somebody who might want to be a guest, on our live, please by all means recommend them. It has to be somewhat real estate related. Dave, at the end of every one of these lives, I ask people to emulate the finger point. Let me see if you can do it. All right. I'm going to give you a 7 for effort.
All right, thanks.
I'll give you something. Dave Fanale, everybody. Thanks so much for watching. Guys, remember, it's not a no. It's to get a restraining order. Take care, everybody.
Right. DaveFanale.com, guys. That's another way. DaveFanale.com. I forgot about that one.